Do you honestly think Ryan Reynolds enjoys being held to ransom? Because let me tell you something, nobody likes the feeling of having their pockets picked, not even Hollywood A-listers. But right now at the Racecourse ground, the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. We are talking about a standoff that could define the entire season, and frankly, it is getting ugly. According to a massive report coming straight from Wales Online, the fairy tale is hitting a cold, hard financial war. We aren't talking about spare change here, we are talking about a club record-shattering fee. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have been told in no uncertain terms to put their hands in their pockets and stop messing around if they want to land their number one target. This isn't just a rumour, this is a direct challenge to the ownership. The target, a European defender who is rated at a staggering £4 million. Yes, you heard me, £4 million for a defender. The player in the crosshairs is Hampus Skoglund, the Hammarby sensation. Wrexham have already made their move, putting a deal worth £2.6 million on the table. In any other universe, that is a serious statement of intent. But apparently, in the eyes of the Swedish giants, that is just an insult. They want more, much more. So the question screaming in my head right now is this. Does Reynolds blink? Does he smash the piggy bank to pieces, or does he walk away and risk leaving Phil Parkinson short when the pressure is at its absolute peak? Buckle up, because we need to talk about the money, the player, and the massive gamble Wrexham is about to take.
Let's get straight to the numbers, because this is where the blood starts to boil. Wrexham thought they were being clever. They thought a £2.6 million bid would be enough to tempt Hammarby into selling their prized asset. And why wouldn't they? That is life-changing money for many clubs across Europe. But here's the slap in the face. Reports emerging from Football Direct, verified by the lads at Wales Online, suggest that Hammarby have looked at that offer and laughed it off. They aren't interested in £2.6 million. They've slapped a price tag on Skoglund that starts at 45 million krona. Do the maths, that is roughly £3.6 million. But wait, it gets worse. The word on the street is that they are willing to hold out for the full £4 million before they even consider signing the release papers. You have to understand the arrogance of this negotiation. Hammarby knows exactly who's calling. They know about the Disney Plus documentary. They know about the new minority investors. They know the valuation of Wrexham has reportedly hit that insane £350 million mark. They are looking at Ryan Reynolds and seeing a walking ATM machine. This is the Wrexham tax in full effect. If this was any other club in the Championship or League One calling, maybe £2.6 million gets the deal done. But because it's the Red Dragons, the price doubles. It is extortionate, it is frustrating. But is it surprising? Not one bit. The club has been informed, up your offer or forget about him. It's a game of poker, and Hammarby is holding a royal flesh because they know how desperate Wrexham is to strengthen that backline.
Now, you might be sitting there screaming at your screen. Rodrigo, who on earth is Hampus Skoglund and why is he worth £4 million? It is a valid question. We aren't talking about a household name here. But look at the stats and you start to see why Phil Parkinson is losing sleep over this kid. Skoglund is a machine. He has racked up 65 appearances for Hammarby. But he isn't just a defender who kicks the ball into row Z. He is a modern footballer. He has 7 assists to his name since breaking into the first team. 7! For a defender in a competitive European league like the Allsvenskan, that is gold dust. He was instrumental in Hammarby finishing second in the league last season. He knows what it takes to fight at the top of the table. He has that winning mentality ingrained in him. And let's not forget, he's an under-21 international. This isn't a veteran looking for a final payday, this is a rising stock. Parkinson loves players who can deliver a final ball. We know how Wrexham plays. We need width, we need aggression, and we need quality delivery into the box for Mullin and the lads to attack. Skoglund fits that profile perfectly. But here's the kicker. Is he £4 million good? That is Premier League money for a prospect. It's a gamble that could either propel Wrexham to the next level or become a financial albatross around the club's neck. The talent is there, undeniable, but the price tag brings a pressure that breaks even the strongest players.
Let's look at where Wrexham is sitting right now. According to the data we have, the club is currently 9th in the Championship. And yes, I know the real-world tables might look different depending on when you check, but let's stick to the report. 9th. That is agonisingly close. We are talking about being just 1 point off the playoffs. 1 point. Can you imagine the frustration? You can practically taste the promotion battle. The team has been on a tear, registering 4 consecutive wins over the Christmas period. The momentum is there. The racecourse is bouncing. But this is the danger zone. This is the moment where seasons are decided. You either push on and secure that top 6 spot, or you run out of gas and fade into mid-table mediocrity. Phil Parkinson knows this. He has been around the block. He knows that the squad, as much as we love them, needs fresh legs. They need that extra spark to turn draws into wins during the gruelling second half of the season. If Wrexham misses out on the playoffs by a single point because they didn't sign a quality defender in January, the fans will never forgive the board. That is the stakes. It isn't just about buying a player, it is about buying insurance for promotion. And that is why Hammarby is squeezing them. They know Wrexham is desperate. They know the window of opportunity to reach the Premier League is open right now, and they are holding the key to the door.
This brings us back to the owners, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. We love them, don't we? They saved the club. They brought the passion back. But now they are facing the ugly side of football ownership. Since taking over in 2021, they haven't been shy about spending. The report mentions a staggering £33 million spent on new players during the summer window alone. That is an eye-watering amount of money. It shows ambition, sure, but it also shows that the well isn't bottomless. They brought in new minority investors in December. Why? Because football is a money pit. Even Hollywood money runs out when you're trying to sprint up the English football pyramid. Now, they are being told to find another £4 million. It sounds easy when you say it fast, but that is a massive chunk of the budget. It is a test of their resolve. Are they willing to be held hostage by European clubs? If they pay the £4 million for Scotland, it sets a precedent. Suddenly, every agent and every club in the world knows that Wrexham will pay whatever you ask. It is a dangerous game. If they cave in now, the next player will cost £5 million, then £6 million. But if they don't pay, if they try to be financially responsible, they risk stalling the project. They risk looking cheap. They risk the anger of the fans who demand success now. It is a lose-lose situation unless Scotland comes in and plays like a world beater from day one.
And what about the gaffer, Phil Parkinson? The man is a stoic. He rarely panics in public, but behind closed doors, I bet he is fuming. Club officials have confirmed that Parkinson will have funds at his disposal this January. The chief executive, Michael Williamson, tried to play it cool back in November. He said, January windows are always challenging. You don't know what the market is going to be. Well, Michael, now you know. The market is crazy. The market is demanding £4 million for a young Swedish defender. Parkinson isn't asking for a galaxy of stars. He wants specific tools to do a job. He's built a side that is physically robust, direct, and hard to beat. He needs a defender who can slot into that system immediately. Scotland, with his 65 games of experience, looks like he can handle the physicality. But Parkinson also has to manage the dressing room. Imagine you are a loyal servant to the club, playing your heart out every week, and suddenly a kid from Sweden walks in with a £4 million price tag on his head. That changes the dynamic. It puts pressure on everyone. The manager is aiming to bring in reinforcements before the confrontation of the season. He knows that the current squad has performed miracles, but asking them to go another 20 games without help is suicide. He needs Reynolds to sign that cheque. He needs the board to back him one more time.
It is the thing that nobody likes to talk about. Transfers fail. It happens all the time. You spend millions and the player can't adapt to the British weather or the physicality of the league or the pressure of the racecourse. £4 million is a risk that could haunt Wrexham for years. If Scotland flops, that is money that could have been spent on the academy or the stadium or 3 other players. But look at the upside. If he is as good as the scouts say, if he is the catalyst that pushes Wrexham into the Premier League eventually, then £4 million is a bargain, is pocket change. The report from Wales Online says Hammarby might hold out until the £4 million figure is met. They are playing hardball because they don't need to sell. They finished second. They are in a good place. Wrexham is the one chasing. Wrexham is the one with a deadline ticking down. It is a classic negotiation tactic. They are banking on Wrexham's desperation increasing as the end of the transfer window approaches. And usually in football, the desperate team is the one that pays the premium.
So, where do we stand? Should Ryan Reynolds put his hand in his pocket and pull out the cash? My gut tells me yes. Look, I hate the Wrexham tax. It is unfair. It is predatory. But this is the reality of the beast they have created. You cannot build a global brand, boast about valuations of £350 million, and then cry poverty when a selling club wants a slice of the pie. Wrexham are 9th. They are 1 point off the playoffs. The momentum is with them. To stop now, to pinch pennies over £1 million difference, would be madness. It would send the wrong message to the squad and the fans. Scotland is young. He has stats that back up the hype, and he plays in a position where Wrexham needs quality. This is the price of ambition. If you want to sit at the big table, you have to pay the big bill. The ultimatum has been delivered. The ball is in Ryan's court. Pay the money, get the kid, and let's go for promotion. Because the alternative, missing out because we were too scared to spend, is a heartbreak I don't think the racecourse can handle right now. What would you do? Would you pay £4 million for a defender you've never seen play live? Or would you tell Hammarby to get lost? This is going to go down to the wire, and I for one cannot wait to see who blinks first.